2, 1. You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck. Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected. Copper is an essential component of all powered equipment. Your probability of survival has just increased to unlikely, but plausible. The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data. Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal. Continuing to monitor.
A herbivorous aquatic life form, rabbit rays appear to live serene and solitary lives, with few predators, a natural sense of curiosity and awesomely poisonous flesh. 1. Ears. Twin orange appendages mounted on the head sense vibration in the water. 2. Undulating wings, markedly similar method of transportation to that of Earth rays. 0 genetic resemblance detected, suggesting these two species independently developed similar solutions to their environmental circumstances. Evidence indicates its large, side-facing eyes are relatively recent adaptations. It is likely there are related ray species in other environmental biomes on the planet. Assessment: inedible but harmless. This variant of coral has adapted to survive in close proximity to other corals, filtering nutrients from the water and sharing them via a spore-like substance which grows around the base. Assessment: no practical applications discovered. A common, spore-bearing fungi species. The flesh contains a highly acidic compound which leaches into the water if the outer skin is penetrated. It is not clear which predator species necessitated such extreme countermeasures, but the acid mushroom's numbers suggest it has successfully deterred most of them. Assessment: inedible. Acid has applications in battery fabrication. Evidence suggests that a substantial number, if not all of the local species reproduce through egg laying. Eggs can be found resting on the seafloor, buried beneath detritus, or even wedged into cracks in the rock. Different species likely favor different biomes as their nesting grounds. Eggs discovered in the wild are in some form of natural stasis, likely awaiting ideal conditions in which to hatch, or the delivery of some vital enzyme which will kickstart the process. It is impossible to calculate the species of the egg from the exterior, however it may be possible to stimulate a hatching response if an egg is relocated to a suitable alien containment unit.
Oxygen. New creature discovered.
This unusual herbivore appears to be mostly defenseless, and bears little resemblance to the other life forms around it. 1. Semi-permeable bladder. The bladderfish is able to filter air and seawater into its body cavity through a unique membrane which surrounds its spine like a bladder. This allows it to remove and consume organic particulate caught on the way, and adjust its buoyancy. 2. Open-ended vascular tubing, can be angled and contracted to pump out water and achieve low velocity, guided propulsion. Largely oblivious to threats, and practically immobile at night, its only identified defense mechanism is that it's composed almost entirely of water, air and cartilage. Assessment: edible. Oxygen may be retrieved from the bladder and added to tanks on consumption. Membrane has applications as a natural water filter.
Alien life forms may have unexpected implications. Utilizing alien resources is a proven survival strategy.
Writhing weed. Well adapted to both shallow waters and cave systems, this plant lives in symbiosis with a coral species which forms around the base of the stems.
New creature discovered.
A fast prey fish encountered in shallow waters and rich in protein. 1. Developed, side-facing eyes, capable of discerning colors not just in shallow waters but in a variety of lighting conditions. It is also able to close its eyelids, thus preventing light from reflecting off the lenses and rendering the peeper almost invisible to nighttime predators. 2. Powerful fins. This species has evolved powerful fins which enable rapid acceleration in still water, and the ability to leap meters into the air to avoid pursuers. 3. Beak. Likely used to break down corals and tough vegetation. An unusually large nasal cavity serves no obvious purpose, and appears to be specially evolved to detect a single, specific enzyme. Nothing encountered on the planet so far produces a matching odor. 4. Expulsion tubes. The tubes attached to the peeper's torso are connected directly to its stomach and gills, and appear to be designed to expel its contents on demand. Purpose unclear. While the peeper is well adapted to survive in shallow waters, a number of its features serve no discernible purpose. It would appear to be just as well suited to survive in deeper waters, and is somewhat more intelligent than the usual small herbivore. Assessment: edible. High calorie count, further research required.
Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core, sustained during planet falls. New creature discovered.
a herbivore encountered in large numbers, found to frequent shallow waters and move in schools. 1. Serrated teeth suggests adaptation for grinding corals other herbivores are unable to digest. 2. Twin fins. Unusually, this species' two fins are a cartilaginous extension of its skeleton. They are less prone to damage and provide superior propulsion, but are also harder to grow back. The bright blue tips are in fact the ends of its digestive tract, where the luminescence of the corals it consumes is most focused. Most active during daylight hours, and prone to flee on approach, the boomerang can more easily be observed at night when its luminescence gives it away and it seeks the shelter of the seabed. Assessment: edible.
New blueprint acquired.
The grav trap uses artificial gravity to attract light objects and small creatures. If placed beside an alien vent, the grav trap can provide near infinite food. Vein nettle, also known as purple fan, a common, shallow water plant which frequently shows signs of predation around the edges of the leaves. Thick, violet veins carry nutrients to the extremities of the fan, and brightly colored seeds grow around the base and stem. The brain coral, a permanent, growing colony of microscopic organisms. This coral species has adapted to filter carbon dioxide from the environment, using the carbon to build the colony, and expelling the oxygen from specialized exhaust funnels. It is quite hardy, suggesting samples from a mature specimen could be grown artificially. Assessment: air tanks are equipped to siphon oxygen from the water where possible. Giant coral tubes. The variety of coral formations on 4546b appear to be different solutions to the same problem of maximizing water and nutrient flow throughout the colony. These particular variants funnel water down a tube, filtering nutrients as they pass. Their size suggests they have been highly successful. Assessment: coral tube samples are rich in calcium, exploitable in bleach fabrication.
Oxygen.
Table coral. Each disc is an individual colony of microorganisms, filtering nutrients from the water. Growth patterns indicate the colonies are in direct competition for positions with superior current or light. Unlike other coral species, its structure is malleable, softly pulsating as it pumps nutrients to its extremities, and only turning rigid when it senses physical assault. The jewel-like nodes in the surface are concentrated buildups of rare minerals the coral is unable to process. Assessment: exploitable in computer chip fabrication.
New creature discovered.
Spadefish, a medium-sized herbivore found in deeper waters. 1. Single eye, observed swimming near to the seabed from where it can keep its one eye on predators in the water above it. 2. Mottled green coloration, commonly encountered in plant-rich environments. The spadefish is well adapted to hide amongst the vegetation. 3. Behavior: spadefish tend to move in loose shoals, and despite their low speed will take necessary measures to avoid confirmed predators. Assessment: edible.
Oxygen. Short-range scans suggest this biome supports extensive biodiversity.
The skyray has a bird-like head and feathered wings which enable it to fly. Skyrays are commonly found circling floating structures, and rarely venture far out to sea. They will perch on dry land, but are prone to flee on approach. 1. Wings. Although its wings give it some resemblance in silhouette to the waterborne rays on 4546b, analysis shows no greater genetic overlap with those species than the planetary average. In fact, the skyray appears to have split off the evolutionary tree much earlier than most. 2. Diet. Largely seed-based. Skyrays have not been observed diving for food, which implies they rely on land-based plants for their survival. Assessment. Presence may indicate nearby dry land. The Sea Glide is a personal transportation device designed for use in oceanic environments. Capable of speeds of up to 36 km per hour in standing water, displays basic topographical data for aid in charting cave systems. Replaceable battery. Keep fingers clear of propeller. The Sea Glide. Anything that moves faster underwater is probably trying to eat you.
Acquired. Detecting sulfur deposits in the local cave systems. 30 sulfur seconds. Is an essential component of the repair tool. Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may result in a quantum detonation. Continuing to monitor.